Just watched the Grizzlies defeat the Dallas Mavericks. Embarrassing fashion, to be quite honest with you. And now they get to, they get the reward of playing the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. I think it is pretty obvious. I got the Thunder winning that in 4 games. This series here, Nuggets Clippers. This is going to be a very interesting series. The Clippers are one of the rare teams in the NBA that I feel like do have a good matchup at center for Nikola Jokic, and that is Zubac. They also have some great POA defenders for Jamal Murray and Chris Dunn and Derrick Jones Jr. They have a great point guard this year in James Harden, and they have an elite scorer in Norman Powell. Now, the swing factor obviously is Mr. Kawhi Leonard. Can Kawhi stay healthy? Can Kawhi stay healthy for the entirety of the series? And not only just stay healthy, but play like Kawhi Leonard. I don't think they get through the series if Kawhi is averaging 18, 21 points. I think they do need elite version of Kawhi Leonard, which we have been seeing here recently. And so for me, I do have a bit of an upset alert, and I do have the Clippers advancing in 6 games. Now, moving on to my Lakers against the Timberwolves. I don't think that this is going to be much of a matchup, but I am somewhat concerned about the Timberwolves just because of their athleticism, their length. They can, bother Austin Reeves potentially in a series like this. They have a few very good perimeter defenders. But all in all, I think we'll be able to outlast the Timberwolves. I think Luka, LeBron, and Austin is just too much offensively. I think we're going to overload and overhelp on over and over and over and again and test him as a passer and playmaker. Can he make the reads and can he make the passes accurately? I think Rudy Gobert is going to be a liability for a lot of this series due to Luka Doncic and just his manipulation as a pick and roll ball handler. And Luka's been looking like himself more and more as the season goes on, getting downhill more often, hitting those touch shots around the basket and in that in-between game more often. And so I have the Lakers advancing against the Timberwolves. I'll give the Timberwolves a game in 5. Here's another series that's going to be a doozy. Rockets Warriors. That series is going to be a doozy. People are very sleep on the Rockets. The Rockets, even on this app that I'm on right now, this website rather, only 32% of fans have picked the Rockets to win this series, despite them being the second best team in the West. Now, granted, the Warriors have, post-trade deadline did make that move for Jimmy Butler. They've been one of the better teams in the second half of the season because of that. Jimmy Butler in these last 2 must-win games does look like he's about to do the playoff Jimmy gimmick. Steph Curry's been really good since Jimmy's been there. They've been the best defense in the league since Jimmy's been there. But I don't think they're honestly the best defense in the league. I think they've had more to play for because they've needed the wins, and teams like Oklahoma City and the Rockets have maybe, took their foot off the gas a little bit. I do think OKC is still the best defense in the league. And I do think actually the Rockets could still potentially be a better defensive team than the Warriors. I have Steph Curry struggling in this series. Of course, he's going to have some good games. He is Steph Curry, but for the most part, I do see the Rockets doing a really good job on Steph Curry. I think they can also match up with Jimmy well. I know they're going to have the men on Steph for a lot of the series, but they have Tari, they have Dylan Brooks, they have Jabari Smith that can match up with Jimmy Butler and not just overpower them and manipulate them into fouls. One thing about this series I'm looking for with the Rockets is just their discipline. They're a young team, and so can a men stay disciplined for a 6-7 game series against Steph? Stay down on pump fakes, not be too physical on him off the ball and pick up some ticky-tack fouls there. Can they be disciplined guarding Jimmy Butler and not march him to the free throw line? I think keeping Jimmy off the free throw line will be one of the main aspects to this series. My only issue with the Rockets is where do they get the offense, right? Jalen Green is a very volatile player. He's up and down a lot. Can you count on him? Can you count on Sengun going against Draymond and quitting post a lot? Can you count on him to be an efficient offensive player? Can you count on Fred VanVleet to pass and playmate and not get too much in his scoring bag? Because when he leans too much scoring, I do think that takes away from this team. They're a better team when he's kind of being more of a traditional point guard per se. It's tough. But, if I'm going to be objective, I know I have the King poster in the back. I know I went on that crazy rant in that previous video. If you haven't watched it, make sure you go back and watch it. And make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and share as well. Also, add me on Playback, follow me on Twitter, this, that, and the third. All of that will be in the description. I know I had a very passionate rant about the Rockets, but if I'm going to be objective, and the chat may be, mad at me, but I have to go with the Houston Rockets. What the fuck? Did you fucking niggas think I was gonna pick the Warriors? I'm standing on business. Yeah, we standing on business. Yes, sir. We standing on business. I got the Rockets in 7. I got the Rockets in Houston, young team. Matter of fact, Game 7 will be a blowout. You heard me. Rockets in 7. To the East. I was discussing this with some of my fellow creators in my room earlier, and I just asked, how many games do you think the Heat could get off the Cavs? The Cavs are clearly going to win the series, but just how many games can the Heat get off? To me, I think Eric Spoelstra gets you one. And then I think either an elite defensive game from the Heat or an abnormal shooting game from the Heat gets them another. So I have the Cavs in 6 in that series. Here's another series that's going to be very interesting. Pacers versus the Bucks. Now, we did get news that Dame is going to be cleared and potentially, if not just all right, just coming back in the series. Apparently, that's what he's doing. The Pacers are a really good team, though. The Pacers are a really good team. They've been a really good team post All-Star break. They have one of the better offenses in the league, and their defense in 2 of their 3 most played lineups actually have a really good defensive rating as well post All-Star break, like top 10-ish actually. However, Giannis this year has been playing on just such a high level, and I don't think the Pacers have the personnel to really stop or contain Giannis this year on their roster. And if he can get that one more solid offensive punch, which would be Damian Lillard. And if Dame is playing in this series, I have the Bucks advancing. This is going to be a 6 or 7 game series, though. I'll go 6. Here's another great first round. We have some great first round matchups. We really do. We have some outstanding first round matchups this year. Like, I'm making these picks, but just looking out, like, a lot of these series can go either way. This Pacers-Bucks series can go either way. This Knicks Pistons series can go either way. This Rocket Warriors series can go either way. The Clipper Nuggets series can go either way. Like, it's some would say even the Timberwolves Lakers. Not many, but some do think that the Timberwolves can absolutely beat the Lakers. So great first round matchups this year. To the Knicks and Pistons. Cade Cunningham has been absolutely fantastic against the Knicks this year, and that is concerning if you are a Knicks fan. It's very concerning that he just fries your defense regularly when he plays y'all. That being said, I think this being his first playoff experience alongside players like Ron Holland that gets minutes and Asar Thompson and, well, maybe not Ron Holland, but Asar Thompson. Are you really a believer in Malik Beasley like that? Right. Do you believe in Jalen Duren in his first playoff setting? I don't know. The Knicks have the vets. They have experience. They've been here before. Cat is coming off one of his better playoff runs in his career last year with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Jalen Brunson also last year had like a streak of 40-point games. They have OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, 2 players that have made deep playoff runs before. I'm going with the Knicks, and I'm going with the Knicks in 6 in this series. I do think Pistons get 2 wins in this series. Celtics Magic, I don't really think much needs to be said. The Magic are one of the worst offenses in the league. They get one game off elite defense, but that's it. All righty, let's go back up to the top of the bracket. Now, this series to me is going to be more competitive than a lot of people think, especially, again, if Kawhi Leonard, is healthy and playing. The Clippers match up well. They have a few defenders they can throw at SGA. Zubac is a bigger body compared to like a Chet, and I think Chet can be moved throughout this series. I also think they can guard Chet well, even with the bigger wing. I wouldn't be surprised if Kawhi spends some time on Chet in this series, actually. The Thunder have been the best team in the league all year. However, for me personally, I have been kind of doubtful about their playoff offense because they are very Shea reliant, and to me they need Shea to play at a very elite level to win in the playoffs. And I think the Clippers are one of the few teams that could derail him from being an elite player in a series. Well, not an elite player, but just a very efficient player, I should say, in a series. That being said, I'm gonna have to go with the Thunder in 7. Oh man. Oh man. 7 is crazy. Why is 7 crazy? Thunder in 5. Yeah, I disagree. 6 max. I can see it. I can see 6, but they not beating the Clippers in 5 games. I don't see that happen. Now with Kawhi Leonard playing. I don't see that. Lakers Rockets. Okay, my two favorite teams facing off. You got Luka, LeBron, Austin. You got Sengun, Jalen, Amin. I do think that the Rockets are going to cause the Lakers some problems. Number one, rebounding the basketball in a few of these games. They're a lot bigger than the Lakers. The Rockets are. They have Steven Adams coming off the bench. They have Jabari that they can throw out there. Amin is a monster on the offensive boards as well. Sengun is a good offensive rebounder. Their defense is elite. I do think they can guard Luka well in a series and have him be inefficient a few games. I think they also can guard Austin Reeves and LeBron. They're one of the few teams that could have a legit body on all three of the Lakers playmakers and scorers, which is kind of rare in the league. But between Amin, Dylan, Fred, Tari, they can really guard well on the perimeter. I just don't think they have enough offense to get them through a series with the Lakers. But this is going to be a rough and tough series. They're going to beat up the Lakers. The Lakers are going to have to earn every win. The Rockets won't give them anything, but I'm going with the Lakers in 6 in that series. Cavs, Bucks. The Cavs are uniquely shaped enough as a team to maybe give Giannis a few fits with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. But the Cavs are just a better team than the Bucks. I don't really think this series will be too much in question. I got Giannis and Dame possibly winning the Bucks too. I don't really feel the need to go too in depth on this round. I do think the Cavs they've been one of the better teams in the league all year. Now they have hit a kind of a rough patch post All-Star break, closing the series. They weren't playing high level basketball, but I think Miami will fine tune them up, get that engine rev back up. And just the playoff atmosphere will do that as well and re-energize them and refocus. And I got the Cavs beating the Bucks in 6 games. Knicks Celtics. Unfortunately, Knicks, any Knicks fan, y'all know y'all not beating this team. Y'all know y'all not beating this team. And the reason why y'all not beating them is because any team that plays Boston and Jason Tatum plays legit a top 3 to 5 player in the league against them, Boston is pretty much unbeatable. So to be honest with you, I'm thinking about giving the Knicks a game just out of respect for Jalen Brunson, but disrespectfully the Celtics in 4. Okay, now we got the conference finals. We got Thunder LA. Now, the Lakers and the Thunder had 2 late games that they played pretty much back to back. Very, very interesting. Luka was very capable and very much did get his game off against the Thunder. Austin did as well, surprisingly enough. And another thing that we did well, particularly probably in the first game, was guard OKC well. Rui was very impressive defensively in a few of those games. Well, both of the games. The Lakers beat OKC in that first game and then had a lead. Were up 1 until I want to say, was that in the 3rd or the 4th when Luka got ejected? We were beating them in the 4th in OKC again, and then Luka got ejected, and then we kind of let go of the rope. But this is an interesting matchup. I do think we can guard Chet just with one of our bigger wings, whether that be DFS or Rui. That's something I've seen Chet struggle here with lately. Bigger physical wings that can guard him and have the foot speed to keep up with him. Now the Thunder, again, are the best defense in the league. They can potentially get enough stops, get out in transition, and run us to death a few games. We don't really have one singular individual that could really guard SGA well, but I think we're going to do the same thing that we do to Ant. We're going to load up on him strong side. We're going to make him a passer playmaker, and we're going to force people like J-Dub and Dort and Cason Wallace, Isaiah Joe, and Wiggins to beat us. And if they hit shots, you shake their hand and you say, good series, young fellas, and good luck in the finals. However, Oklahoma City's season ends in the Western Conference Finals. OKC season ends in the Western Conference Finals. We got LeBron. We got Luka. We got Austin. Huh? What's up? Be mad all you want to. Lakers in 6. Cavs Celtics. The Cavs don't match up well with the Celtics. One thing I have paid attention to and noticed in these matchups, Jason Tatum is very comfortable against this team. And again, if you allow, Boston already has like the best 5-6 man rotation. Like, to me, they have the best starting 5 in the league. And then Al Horford coming off the bench. That's like the best 6-man rotation in the league, in my opinion. So they're already going into series with that advantage, right? And so then if Jason Tatum plays very well against you as well, as far as being a shot maker and a scorer, I just don't think you can beat the Celtics. They already have the talent advantage. And then if Jason Tatum is an elite scorer against your team, which he usually does, put the ball in the basket at a great clip against the Cavs, I don't see how you beat the Celtics. So I'm actually going to go Celtics in this series in 6 games. And now we have the NBA Finals between the Lakers and the Celtics. Historic rivalry. A lot of narratives in this game. Well, not this game, excuse me, this matchup. Can Luka get his revenge? Can the Lakers tie the Celtics in franchise championships and get to 18 apiece? Does Jason Tatum go back-to-back? Does he win Finals MVP this year? Can LeBron get his 5th ring? And what does that do for his legacy? And does that make him an undisputed GOAT? You know, a lot of narratives in this matchup, in this final. That being said, it's the same thing. Boston has the best starting 5. 6-man rotation. Tatum is comfortable against the Lakers. And as much as this pains me, I got the Celtics. I got the Celtics. I got the Celtics. And unfortunately, this isn't a psych. They're the best team in the league, chat. And I have the Celtics repeating. I'm sorry. I'm mad about it too. I already showed my Laker bias in the Western Conference Final. God damn it, I gotta be objective somewhere. And this is it. I think the Celtics repeat. I think Jason Tatum actually has a really good final and wins final MVP. And they go back to back and they get their 19th ring in franchise history. Kind of a dull ending for this video. I know I'm a Laker fan, so I really don't like it. I don't like this at all. I don't like it at all. But I have to be honest. I have to be honest and I have to be objective. So I do have the Celtics winning the championship this year. And until next time, again, like, comment, subscribe, view my description below and add my playback room. I think we just made 3,000 members 2 days ago or yesterday or 2 days ago. So shout out to that. Shout out to the community. We are growing at a rapid pace. Also, you will want to be in my playback room because we will be having some legendary streams. Just trust me on that. My chat can attest. We will be having some legendary streams, some absolutely just dumb entertainment. I'm telling you. All time streams coming your way. So make sure you add the playback room. Make sure that you follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and again, until next time, it's been real.